Blog Talk Radio.
Word. I'm going in. This what I'm supposed to do. Ay. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Ay. Watch how you move. 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 Hey, I'm going in. This how I'm supposed to do. Ay. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Ay. Watch how you move. 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 Hey, I keep it low key. They acting sus, don't approach me. I keep angels all around me. Only deal with them 100p. Once blind, but I too see. I'm too blessed to be worried about them. And they don't want me as they enemy. Cause my enemies is my God's problem. Ayy, I hit the top from the bottom. Ay. Sold them the truth and they bought it. Ay. Y'all gon' get used to the slaughter. I be in check with the order. They be like, you stay them Jordans. I just cop them on, rock them. I just stack them in the closet. I ain't here to show my profit. I'm just here to raise the topic. Jesus Christ, my only option. Bigger checks me, bigger offerings. Could never pay back what it cost them. I just go in cause I know he's awesome. I'm in good hands like he's all state. I'm in the game like I'm all state. To see me go up, they cannot wait. I cannot take chances, so the chances are they gon' take a loss. My testimonies made a hard lessons. I'm in Abba's presence, this is his message. I'm a living weapon, he the living word. By the Holy Spirit, I done been immersed. I done been in Bentleys, I done been in furs. But you ain't been in nothing till you in the hearse. Better put I'm going in. This what I'm supposed to do. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Ay. Watch how you move. 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 Hey, I'm going in. This how I'm supposed to do. Ay. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Ay. Watch how you move. 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 Griffin beat the tracker for your boy. Ay, I put in work like a chore. He canceled my sin like a void. Favor falling, can't ignore it. I'm getting chips like a droid. Sauce dripping out my paws. But I'ma need something more. That major key that's from the source. I ain't looking for awards. I'm just working for the Lord. I just got them balls sharp as double-edged swords that'll leave you battle scarred. Fighting battles that ain't even ours. We ain't even under even odds. I only move by the cloud of fire. Y'all been misled by a falling lie. Holy Ghost is my supply. Holy smokes, I'm off the wire. I go from 1 to 1,000. Blessings on me, keep that coconut smile. Ay, I've been down, it's been a while though. Since they heard me spit this pyro. The flow polar, call it cryo. When he coming back, only God knows. I'ma stay low till he say so. And move this word by the caseload. I'm upholding my G code. Y'all observing me in beast mode. I'm +1, that's a free throw. Y'all can see the his C note. I'ma walk out to him, catch a boat, and I'ma sleep sound, but y'all stay woke. I'm going in. This what I'm supposed to do. Ay. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Ay. Watch how you move. 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 Hey, I'm going in. This how I'm supposed to do. Ay. Check out my move. This how you supposed to do. Ay. Watch how you move. 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 Watch how you move.
Welcome to another episode of On the Move Unscripted, on purpose. So I gotta always remember to put the on purpose on there because on Thursdays it's not like Mondays and Tuesdays, because Mondays and Tuesdays I'm with the men, and you know how the men are. But on Thursdays it's about the ladies, you know what I'm saying, and what we think and how we feel about it and our thoughts about it. Isn't that right, ladies?
That's right.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on? Okay, so I like to make sure check out how everybody's day was. I already know that 2 of our ladies, they got to go make that money, so they couldn't be on the show today. DJ and Kim had to go make that money. But so we got our other ladies. We got Misty, we got Kim, and then we got a new addition to the crew. We got Dr. R. Marie. What's going on, Dr. A. Marie. I got R. Marie and A. Marie. So not R. Marie. That's the nurse. We got the doctor, Dr. A. Marie. Now, Dr. A. Marie, you on the line? Okay, maybe they ain't heard. Maybe I got to go. Is there a number 313? Who is that? Is that Dr. A. Marie?
Oh, yeah, I'm on.
Listen.
I'm on. I had you on
okay,
mute.
there you go. Oh, okay. How you doing? Dr. Avery?
I'm good. What's up?
So I always like to start the week off with kind of finding out how everybody's week was. And since you're new to the crew, we're going to start with you and make our way around. So if you don't mind introducing yourself, who you are, what you do, how you do it, and how your week has been. Did I say that too fast? Dr. Avery? I don't know what happened to her phone. Okay, so we'll come back to her. Armory.
Hey.
How's your week been, Armory?
Hold on. I can always. I'm within route of where I need to be to do this podcast, but I'm here. I'm here. My week has been fabulous. I'm seeing different things spiritually. I've been put to the test, and to my knowledge, I'm passing the test. Just different things. I mean, my eyes are just opening to different things, and it's weird and it's wonderful at the same time because I know that I'm growing. So my week has been fabulous. Even though I've worked all week, it's still been fabulous. It wasn't to the point where it was wearing me out, even with this wonderfully hot weather, which I'm enjoying, by the way. But that's it for me. Hello, Patricia? Trish, we don't hear you.
I'm sorry. I've been forgetting to take the phone off mute. So I feel you. My week has been crazy. It's been emotional for me. I don't know what it is. It's always around, I don't know, eclipse season or something. I just get emotional about some stuff. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'm glad you had a good week. How about you, Misty?
My week started off okay. Excuse me. Until I had to spend $400 on my truck, all for the motor to blow. I had got $260 worth of work done. Picked it up on Saturday. Came home, straight home from the shop, because I ain't got nowhere to go, nobody to see, nowhere to be. Came straight home. Jumped in the car on Monday, all for the motor to blow. So I had to pay $70 for the tow to the shop, and then $70 back home from the tow, for the tow from the shop. And so that was $400 down the drain that could have went towards something else,
Don't they have a lemon law?
No, I've been had this truck.
Some type of... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been having it over a year, but it was all the original parts on it, so they already told me it was going to be a domino effect once, because I've been, putting money into it since I had it. But, I started to question them about, because I had just got the thermostat and hose done and all that, so I started to question them about the radiator. But I said, you know what, everything happens for a reason. I'm not going to question these guys, even it could have been their fault, who knows? I don't know. I ain't no mechanic, but I said, you know what, everything happened for a reason. Maybe the Lord's trying to prevent me from a bad accident, from the car catching on fire, or maybe he got me walking into my new car. Who knows? And like I was telling my uncle yesterday, as much money as I wasted, when I was getting drunk and high, why would I complain over a few hundred when I done spent thousands in the street? So...
Wow.
I just look at it like that, for the love of money is the root of all evil. I still got something in my pocket, so it ain't like I'm, hurting for anything. So, and then, I still ended up with the kids, here and there.
Are you?
I had got a little bit.
Missy, you thought because you had your own place, you wasn't about to get the grandbabies no more? Is that what you thought? You thought they wasn't going to still drop the kids off at your house?
At least let me hang the pictures on the wall. Can I come in here? Can I get a little cozy? I mean, Jesus, can I get cozy? Can I have a sneak peek or something? I mean, goodness. But, you know, it was all, I got my granddaughter, the one that I was posting the other day when we was playing the makeup. My daughter, you know, she had a little emergency and stuff and asked for some help. So that's why I got her and been having her as long as I have. You know, so. Ooh, excuse me. But
okay. Well, you had a pretty busy and productive week. Well, you know, as you know, in spite of the car situation. So, Dr. A. Marie, are you back on the line? I don't know. Can she hear me? I don't know if she can hear me now. So anyway, my week has been, I've been emotional. I don't know why. You know, I don't know what it is. I've just been like, I don't know. I mean, everybody has their downtime, and I think this is just one of them times where I've had to really listen to my own words. Like I really had to, you know, sing that song "Faith" to myself. Like I really had to remember that when one door closed, another door opens. I had to really, like, speak to myself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we can give inspirational words to other people, or we can say inspirational words, but then when the challenges come to us, it's like, can we live what we preach? You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like this week I've really been challenged. And then I ain't been able to smoke no cigarettes, I ain't even been able to hit a joint. I ain't been able to hit a black one. I'm like straight turkey, like nothing. Like not a drink. I ain't been able to do nothing. So I gotta handle this stress without no substance. It's been rough for me.
Right, some of that. We just doing it, girl.
You know what?
I mean, but it all works out though.
It does. I know that when we were younger, we couldn't really talk about smoking weed out in public because we had to worry about our jobs, maybe listening in and stuff. But since I'm you know, not working for anybody right now, I can say it. But I probably needed a joint or something to relax me. But it's been one of them weeks. Been one of them weeks. I ain't lying. So
I've been emotional too. I don't know. I was sitting there. You ain't the only one. I've been crying. I'm like, what am I crying for? So, but you know, I learned a long time ago.
You do?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Yes.
I swear, I look at some on YouTube and start crying and shit. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm sitting in a pool and it looks like he can't find his way home, and I'm like, oh, Lord, well, somebody else that dog find his way home.
Yes, I've been emotional too. I don't know. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I ain't been this emotional a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I'm over here by myself or what. You know, I don't know. But
the one thing I can say,
probably that could be a part of it. I mean, because this is a new life. This is a new change for you. It's unfamiliar, you know, territory. It's been a while since you've been there. So now you're in a brand new space. It takes a minute to adjust for the inner self to get used to it. Like, oh, okay, it's all about me up in here.
Right. It's all about me. It's all about you till the grandbabies come. I'm just sorry that you didn't understand that was part of the game. That was part of the plan. Like, when Mom get her own spot, you know what I'm saying? They were plotting and planning. They were waiting on you to get your own space lower than you have.
They probably was sitting there like, oh, we can't wait till Mommy get her apartment. Oh, my God. Y'all getting on my nerves. Wait till Grandma get her apartment. When Mama get her apartment, y'all going over there with her.
Yes. I know I would if I had grandkids. So today, Dr. A. Marie, which I don't know what happened to her. She must be she's one of them ones that she gets calls and stuff, and she'll come back. But until express who she is or whatever. But she decided, or she put out there that we should talk about interracial relationships and how they are affected at this time, at this season, like right now. And I would think, oh, she said she's back on. Okay, Dr. A-Marie, before we go into the topic, tell everybody about yourself and who you are.
Hey, sorry about that. I had to take a work call from dispatch. So I am Dr. A-Marie, the psychologist.
So what that means is I respond to traumatic events all across the world when they happen. If you think 9/11, El Paso shootings, and stuff like that. I am a poet, a model, a mother. Let me see, what else? A business owner. So I own an all-female private investigation firm. And most recently, a bounty hunter. So that is bail bondsman bounty hunter. Yes.
So are you the one that goes and looks for the people when they don't pay when they don't go to court or something?
When they don't, that's right. When they don't pay me my money.
Oh, you're the Batman Madonna. Oh,
yeah.
She's she's like Clark Kent and them, like she jump into that Superwoman Batman type,
yes.
stuff, after hours.
Yes,
oh, wow.
And Chase, that's right. And so, my week, how's my week? My week has been good. It's been busy with work. Unfortunately, with what I do, it doesn't slow down because of COVID. Our business is actually very busy. But let me see. I got me a new motorcycle this week, but it's been raining, so I haven't been able to ride. But that's my latest adventure. And what I'm going to be doing for the weekend.
Marie.
Yes.
Dr. A-Marie, she ain't the regular doctor. Yes. Like, she's a doctor, but outside the doctor, she's a comedian. So, me, you, Missy, all of us going to have to kick it with her one day, and I promise you, she's going to have you laughing. She got our personality, Marie. She's just like us. I swear to goodness, you going to like me kicking it with her, because she's different.
Is she different? You know what? That's crazy. I've been called different. Like, you're different. Like, what do you mean? Because I just feel like I'm full of life.
Yes,
and since I started out, I grew up fast when I was younger. When I should have been enjoying my teenage years and my college years, I was learning how to be a wife and a young mom. So, once my former husband and I relationship completed, that's the positive part. But once that has completed, I was able to regain who I was. So that's been wonderful. I like being joyful. Are you the doctor that I spoke with maybe about a month back?
She's been on a couple times.
Yeah, I've been on a couple times. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
We actually, she was on a show with me and Mr. Stout. She also, I don't know why she also do that pole thing. that pole dance.
She did say she's a poet. The what?
She said she's a poet or a pole dancer.
I thought she said poet. I thought, Dr. A-Marie, we're going to need you to clarify a few things.
Look, I did say poet, but I do take pole lessons, so that's poetry in motion. So I'm poet.
Right.
I've actually been very interested. I've been very interested in learning pole dances because it helps you with flexibility and strength. But I tried to climb like a regular pole outside, and I felt split on my ass, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe should I still think about it, or I don't know. I don't know if it's a size different as far as width. I don't know.
What'd you say?
But you gotta have the strength.
What'd she say?
You gotta have the strength to climb.
It's a different kind of pole.
Dr. A-Marie,
it's a different kind of pole than the ones outside.
It's a different kind of pole.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a stripper pole, right?
It's all kinds of different poles.
Learn how to do that pole, man. That's the stripper pole. You'll always have a man. So, you want to talk about interracial dating. I have my question is, has anyone ever dated outside their race? Have any of y'all?
No.
Yes and no. I've never dated a Caucasian. I mean, they were still black. One was African, and then the other one was Jamaican. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I need to leave these Islanders alone. We don't agree on a lot of different levels. So, but besides that, no, I've not dated outside my race. Like no white guys, no Hispanic guys, no Asian American. No.
No, I haven't either.
I did when I was in the military. I dated a Caucasian male for probably about a month or two. We were friends. We were really good friends, you know. But then, I don't know, we were in Alabama. We was at Fort Rucker, you know. And I think once we went downtown and he got too many stares from white people seeing me and him walk together, he started kind of acting funny and distancing himself. So I'm thinking it's because he didn't want people to see him with a black woman. And so I ended up no longer really kicking with him and kind of strayed off more towards my, you know, African Americans or whatever. But I did once, yeah.
Well, then you gotta remember, that was you talking, Trish, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta remember that was back in the late '80s, early '90s, and we're talking about Alabama, okay? Where there's still some issues, even though there's mixed couples. But let's be clear. I guess the ATL would be a little different because, you know, everybody is just on their own, doing their own thing. But the down south, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, you know, yeah, they weren't ready for that in the 80s and 90s. Because, I mean, a lot of black men with white women caught hell here in the 80s. So can you imagine down south? They were still coming up missing.
I don't remember a lot of I don't remember a lot of disracial couples in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta. I just don't. I don't remember seeing a lot of couples together. Over the 20 years that I lived there, on and off, I don't remember a lot of. Yeah, I don't remember a lot. Not like in Columbus. In Columbus, Ohio, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of interracial dating here, but I don't remember a lot. Not with black and white. I don't know about. African, but can you really consider African like a different race? Like we're all kind of like we're the same, right?
We're the same. We're the same as far as, you know. I've always said it was an African who said we're not Black Americans. I was a little insulted, like, well, whoa. I mean, because to me, I thought it was like a privilege, you know. And, yeah, she's straight, like, no, I am African. You are American. You're a black American, like, dang. I didn't know y'all felt like that. I mean, she opened my eyes to it. But a lot of them kind of think that we be on a lot of BS and we don't take our life serious, because a lot of them that's here, they're serious. They have a plan. And when they retire, they're out of here. There's like, I've had countless, like, I would never live here. I'm like, well, why'd you come? You know, because it was still a better educational opportunity. But a $300,000 home here is only $60,000 there. So they get their houses built and everything. I'm like, wow. If we work together, like foreign people work together, we would be absolutely unstoppable. I see small branches, but we need trees planted, because too many black people, once they make it to a higher level, is more willing to turn their back so they won't lose that status, or they're scared they'll lose that status. But, I mean, we're powerful. We're very creative people, and we're very powerful.
So do y'all ever get offended when you see a fine specimen of a African-American man with a Caucasian woman? Do y'all get offended now in this day and age, 2020?
I don't get offended. I get more curious. I think because I just really feel like everybody has a right to choose what they want for their life. And so it doesn't stop because I don't do it. But I get curious to know how they're dealing with this and how they view me, I'm just going to say me from the outside. Like, it's kind of one of those things. I wonder what they're thinking about what I'm thinking, kind of thing.
I know I've heard African American women who date Caucasian males, I've heard them say that they were treated better by another race than they were by their own race. Like African American men don't have the best reputation, some of y'all, for how y'all treat y'all women. And so I've heard that a lot from black women who date white men. They've said the white men treated them like a queen. But then you'll hear black men who are with white women who are pissed that black women are with white men. I don't get it. Like, you're a black man, you're with a white woman, but you don't want a black woman to be with white men. You're like, oh, no, I hate seeing that. But you got a white woman. I don't get it. Like, yeah. But I don't know. I don't understand that.
It used to bother me until I just used to hate it. I don't know why. I don't know. It did something to my inner being. But when I got married and my husband went to the service, and it was so many, it was a sepia of rainbow of colors of women, and you had a lot of Japanese women married to black men or white men, black women. So, I mean, as I sat and got to know the women, because our husbands was gone on tour, and I realized that a lot of them was just people. They're just like us. Other than a few cultural differences, they're just like us. And after that, I stopped judging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To me, I feel like love has no color. I really don't feel like love has a color. I feel like whoever you fall in love with and whoever treats you right, regardless of where they're from, what they look like, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. But what I hate, though, is when African American man will get with a white woman and then talk about black women. That's what I hate. Like, why you feel the need to put black women down just because you got a white woman on your arm? Like, that's what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? And you'll hear people say, oh, black women is this, or black women ugly, or black is this, that, and that. But your mama black. You know what I'm saying? You're African American, so your mother is black, or your father is black. Everybody's black. So how are you going to be putting us down just because you got another race on your arm? Or why do you be with us when you ain't got nothing, and then as soon as you got something, then you go pick another race and then want to put us down? That's what I don't like. That's what I can't.
Mm-hmm. And for myself, I didn't like it, when I was younger, but I grew up and I realized that everybody needs love, and love is not about color. And to each his own, that's their preference, not mine. So, I'm mind my business, and they're going to let me mind mine. So, it doesn't bother me now, no, but it used to.
It used to bother
me. But I did used to want kids by a white guy, but only because of the hair. When I was growing up, I used to love their hair, and that was the only reason why I wanted kids by a white guy, was for the hair.
So you feel like that has something to do with image?
No, I think I just liked their curly hair. I think I just liked the texture of their hair because you could wet it and it curls up versus, even back then I could wet mine, put a little grease in it or whatever, and it would curl up too. I think that's probably why I was doing that back then too in the day. But I think I just liked their curly hair, how it could go from straight to curly. If you blow dry, because, back then they were blow drying. We were blow drying with the comb. And how it would get all straight, and then next minute you wet it, it get all curly. I think I was infatuated with the process, how they can go from straight to curly. But it was never, it wasn't like I was infatuated with their color or anything. I think it was more like just the hair going from straight to curly.
Well, for me, it probably was an image thing. When I was younger, I did used to be like, man, when I grow up and I get married, I want my man to have hazel eyes, and I want him to have curly hair, because I know if he has hazel eyes and curly hair, then when I have children, my children are going to be lighter, and they're going to have cute eyes and pretty hair, because as a young girl, being dark-skinned was a sin. You know what I'm saying? Back in the 70s or whatever, when I was growing up, and even the 80s, like, I got picked on so bad about my skin complexion that it was like I literally prayed that my children would not come out my color. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad it was. Even into my time when I got married. You know what I'm saying? Because me and my ex-husband were about the same color. But I was praying that my children would not be that color, because I didn't want them to go through what I went through, because it was like I was mistreated because of my skin complexion. I was called the ugly duckling and this, that, and the other, and all them crazy names, and it was just crazy. So, yeah, I think for me, I wanted it because I wanted my kids to not come out to be my color or my hair texture or my look, because I didn't want them to be tortured. I didn't want them to grow up being mistreated. You know, so for me it was about that. Not to say that I'm not even attracted to people outside my race like that in a romantic sense, really. But just because I didn't want my kids to go through what I went through. You know what I'm saying? For me it was. I used to fantasize about it a little bit. Just a little.
But I feel like most of the discrimination that I've experienced has been from within my own culture. I mean, it's been from the black community, because I went to school with white kids, grew up with them, played with them in the neighborhood, have them in my family. But it's been black people that I've been most discriminated against, at least outwardly.
They mean, aren't they? Mean, wasn't they? Them kids was mean as hell.
Yeah. And some adults, too, not just the kids. And some adults.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's like you would, like they would say stuff like, "Oh, you cute to be dark, and you're a pretty little black girl." That's how you gonna be telling? How you as an adult gonna tell a child you're a pretty little black child? Well, what? Like, okay, I got a complex already.
Yeah.
You know. Get your nappy head stuff over here. Oh, got a complex already. Stop holding your lips like that, making them look big. Oh, Lord, got a complex already. Our parents gave us those complexes before the kids even got to it. I don't think it was on purpose, but, you know, yeah. I don't think it was on purpose, but it just, yeah. So when I see a Caucasian and a black person together, or any race, Chinese or whatever, I always be curious. The one thing I do be curious, like, what drew them to each other? Like, what made, I mean, it's not the norm, you know, because most people would think you would marry somebody within your own race. So what was it about this person who was not your race that drew you initially? I've been wondering that. That's like what I wonder. Like, what made that white man fall in love with that black girl? Or what made that black girl fall in love with that Chinese man? You know what I'm saying? I've been wondering stuff like that sometimes.
Yeah, I wonder the same thing. For me, growing up, I never had a white guy show interest in me. But recently, no. But recently, in the last, I'm going to say, year, two. When I say 2 years, I mean, they are not afraid to step up. Like, literally. They're just not afraid at all.
Wow.
Step up to run the game, run the play. They are not afraid to step up and run the play. But it's just not, physically, it's just not somebody who interests me.
Yeah, I'm saying
it's just as are some other guys in our culture. They don't interest me.
Yeah. But what do it for me is the foundations that they build. I don't know. I've never dated outside my race, but I see that plenty of them are foundation builders, and that they do very well with a black woman and a white guy, especially if they have kids. They build better foundations. Well, I ain't gonna say better, but they build foundations. Versus the black guys that I've dated, they're more like looking for you to build and to leech off of you and all that extra stuff that I ain't with either.
So what about the ones who get with black? I'm talking about the women now. What about the black women who get with white men and then want to put their noses down at the black race or black women, like the lady, what her name, Candace? Is it Candace Owens? Is that her name? Is her name Candace Owens? The one?
I believe so.
That's always, she always talking smack about black people. Like, those kind of people irritate me. Like, just because you with a white man and you living up on the hill somewhere and you living good and life is good for you, life is great, you're going to all the tea parties and all the women act like they like you and all that kind of stuff. Just because you're in that life doesn't mean you get to look down on the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? Who are not maybe on that same level or whatever. Like Candace, whenever I see her, my whole back of my neck start hurting. Because I know she's gonna say something that's gonna irritate me. Like I don't even like listen to her talk. Huh?
What you say start hurting, Patricia?
My neck start hurting. She starts rubbing my neck. I automatically start to rubbing my neck. Like, oh my gosh! Like, are you for real? For real? Are you so out of touch with your people that you really talk like that? Like, for real? Like, are you really that? Have you not ever had to struggle or go through anything that the African American woman has had to go through? I personally feel like the African American woman has had it the worst out of every freaking race, every freaking gender. We have worse than the men. And because we're black, we got the worst of the races. Like, we struggle the hardest. So I can't stand when somebody gets with a white man or whatever, and you act like you don't ever remember the struggle, or like none of your ancestors ever had to go through the struggle. Like, the women have had it the worst. The black man has had it hard, but the woman has had it harder because after he gets mistreated by whatever's going on in the outside world, he got to come home to the black woman, and the black woman is the one who got to deal with that mess. That's why they got a lot of domestic violence, because they come home, they want to beat up on the woman, or they got a lot of kids, so they're trying to hold them down. It'd be the black woman that has it the worst. So I can't stand the black women who get with white men and then look down on the other ladies or her sisters. Like, I hate that. I really do. That's why when she gets to talking, when Candace Owens gets to talking, my neck gets to hurt. I'm like, really? Really, really. The black woman has had it hard. We've had it hard, They need to have something for us. That's how I feel. They need to have some kind of something for us because we go through the most, We go through the most. I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong for how I feel? How do y'all feel about it?
No, we have had it, pretty bad, I believe, as well. So I agree with you on that.
I do. I feel like we've had it the worst. I feel like we've had it the hardest. I mean, let's talk. Let's go all the way back. Let's talk about how many African American women have been molested within their family. You know what I'm saying? Within the family unit, within the mama, cousins, Uncle JoJo, all that kind of stuff. So we had to go through that. The mistreatment of just because with the nappy-headed child, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. If she got light-skinned family members, kids, they mistreat her, whatever. She grow up, you know what I'm saying, she got to go through dealing with prejudice and racism from, you know, outside races or even within her own race, the kids or whatever. When it comes down to equal rights, the women don't get the equal rights as the men. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we don't get paid like the men get paid. We got to go through more stuff, or we don't get the respect. It's just a lot. I feel like the black woman has had it the freaking worst. We're the ones who got to go through childbirth. We got to go through labor. We got to deal with the issues that the black man has to deal with. I just think we got to work. I feel like we've had the hardest struggle. We've had the hardest struggle. Women have had a hard struggle, period.
Struggle is real.
You said what?
The struggle is real.
It is. It is. The struggle is real, especially for the woman. It's hard for the man, too, the black man. It's hard for him. So I don't take that away. Like, Kim does a lot of stuff for the black man. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until she really explained to me the needs of the black man that I started to understand, like, that's true. You know, the black man has had it hard. You know, he has had it hard. He has. But the black woman has had it just as hard, if not harder, because we got to deal with everything. We got to deal with the kids. We got to deal with being discriminated against. We got to deal with racism, not being paid fairly. You go to work all day long, struggle like hell, come home, you got the black man like, where my dinner at? Because he didn't got mistreated at work. He didn't have to deal with racism with his boss or whatever, or police brutality or whatever heck is going on with the black man. So he come home and he mad, taking it out on the woman. So what? The woman got to deal with that. She got to deal with the kids, making sure they good, and still handle her own, keep her own self sane. Yeah, women has had it hard. I don't care. Black women have had it hard. So yeah. But let's take a break. Y'all ready to take a break? Let's take a music break. Y'all in the mood to take a music break?
Sounds good.
All right, we're going to take a break, y'all. We'll be right back. On Move Unscripted On Purpose.
All you gotta do is believe. my life is different. I used to be mad when they talk, now I love the critics. I love the ones who we're gonna join the wall, but if they fake, I keep my distance. Mama told me gotta have respect. Always felt like I was on a mission. And if you tryna make it out, gotta be different. You gotta put your heart and make sure you be smart. You gotta learn to change your way and know you got no time to waste. Don't think about the hard times. Always keep it 100 and you gon' be fine. I'm just tryna do better and see my mama smile. I remember long nights in the hallways, outside like all day. You thinking you ain't got nobody you can call on. Just close your eye, pray to the sky, that's who you follow. Cause he gon' hate you every time, ain't no doubt. I ain't really tryna make no enemies. Had to cut a couple people off because they in. My mama asked me, do I think I'm ready for the industry? I don't want no smoke, but if it's deep, we on the symphony. Some things we can't understand. You been down and you need you a hand. You gotta keep going. I've been told you gotta keep going. I've been told you that for real. I know you got your heart, bro. And sometimes like to bring you down, but you gotta be strong. Let's keep going till tomorrow. God, yeah. I know you got your heart, bro. People looking at you like you always doing something right. This is for the ones who by themselves, I swear you not. They not meant to be inside your life, y'all can never get along. I'm just trying to stack it up and leave the haters where they all belong. Your soul been listen. If you just want somebody to listen, but if they don't, you shouldn't care. Because you know you've been a well. They never real and it be clear. You can't let them get in your will. If you got a funny feeling about them, you should never trust. Many times inside your life you felt that pain like concussion. You just need to know that everybody good at something. Cause I remember days I really thought that I was nothing, but I know I want it. I hope that you want it. Ain't no reason for running. Sometimes people can't really explain the stuff they done. Ain't never crazy. You go in my you still really wrong. But I know you got your heart, bro. And sometimes like I'm bring you down, but you got it. Let's keep going till tomorrow. Till tomorrow.
I had a feeling that me and you were gonna be down for the long ride. Girl, I had a feeling that the way that you touched me never made me feel so alive. I'm gonna dive right into your body, no I won't lie. Legs in the air, I'm taking you there, run my fingers down your spine. Never a day I'm spending away, wanna be with you all the time. You're the first thing that I think of when I wake up, baby, and you know how to make love. I don't wanna leave your side, I got your back, I know you got mine. Look in your eyes as you stare into mine. Give you the once over and over again tonight. I did the figures and figured out you were the one who was right. Cause you keep it 100, yeah, you keep it 100.
You got me coming back. I want your body on mine. You take me to places that you make me feel right. Yeah, you've been so real with me, baby. I'm head over heels with you daily. No one could do it like you. Now everything's better with you. This unexpected kind of love must be sent from up above. Just hold me and don't let go of me, love.
The look in your eyes as you stare into mine. Give you the once over and over again tonight. I did the figures and figured out you were the one who was right. Cause you keep it 100, yeah, you keep it 100. The look in your eyes as you stare into mine. Give you the once over and over again tonight. I did the figures and figured out you were the one who was right. Cause you keep it 100, yeah, you keep it 100, yeah, you keep it 100. For me, yeah, you keep it 100 degrees.
You have tuned into another episode of On the Move Unscripted On Purpose. I always get to take my phone off mute, so please forgive me. Don't come here looking for perfection, please, because if you do, you're going to be really pissed at me because I'm about sure I'm going to mess up somewhere. So don't come looking for perfection. But anyway, we're talking about interracial dating and what's going on in this season of our lives right now. And, yeah, it's real deep. Missy, Dr. R. Marie, you still on? I mean, Dr. Marie, Dr. A. Marie? Yes. Yes.
Mocha is here.
I'm trying to get, I think, that's going to confuse the R and Dr. A. That, you know, them two. So, you know, I'm going to be stuttering and whatever. So,
Mocha, we can go with that.
Huh? What'd you say?
You know I'm AKA Mocha. We can go with that.
AKA Mocha. Okay, Mocha. Yes. So, yeah, I guess it's a deep topic when you start talking about racial relationships. But I personally, I think that African Americans, I feel like, are more accepting. Like, we accept other races easier. Like, if my daughter was to come home with a white man, I might look, you know what I'm saying? Or my son was coming home with a white woman, I might look or whatever. But I pretty much judge people by their character. So I'm not gonna be like, what the heck are you bringing home? You know, somebody that's not our race. I'm not gonna trip. Like I you know, because I understand people love who they love, you know, but I don't know if other races are accepting to us when their daughters or sons bring us home, you know.
I think a lot of times it has to do with viewpoint and status. A lot of times I've found in dealing with people that other races view Black people as having inferior status in the world, be it economic status, be it whatever, social status. But we as Black people, some people who date outside the race, not all, but some people who date outside the race feel that it's a status booster for them to get with somebody outside of the race. So, I mean, how do you square those things? How does that work?
You know what? So you're saying you think that some people get with people outside the race just so they can look good?
Yes. They feel like they have that it's like getting a boost to your credit score. It's like literally.
So I'm curious. I know that I have some people on the line here. I want to get a man in here. I see Cedric Duncan. I know you watching me. He's so cool. I really want to get you in here so you can tell us what you think if you're still watching. I want to get you on here so you can tell us from a man's perspective. So if you can, Cedric, if you're not shy, can you call in 516-387-1247 if you're not shy? 516-387-1247. Or another male if he can't call in. I'm Curtis White. My ex-husband. It's funny how the exes be sneaking on the line. I see you, bruh. Why don't you call in? 516-387-1247. You know, they won't like nothing. They won't, but they'll sneak on there and look at you every once in a while. He probably don't even know I see him. I see you. Yeah. But I definitely would like to hear from a man, like, what does a man think when he sees a black woman with a white man? I'm curious, like, what they think. He might not be back on no more. Yeah, he might just step in to say hi and step back out. You know how they do. Yeah, he might not be back on. So, how would you react, Missy, if your daughter came home with a white man? How would you act? How would you react?
I wouldn't treat them no different. I don't do all that, because I wouldn't want nobody to treat me no different. Don't make no difference who I was with. Actually, my son just asked me that probably about a month or two ago. Mom, what would you think if I brought home a white girl? And I was like, to each his own. Like, I wouldn't treat her no different, and I wouldn't expect her to treat me no different as long as she don't, say the N-word. She'll be all right. Because she got beat up now. Don't be doing all that. But no, I wouldn't treat her no different. Everybody deserves respect, and it is what it is, I ain't going to love her no less or no different or anything.
What about you, Dr. Mocha, Dr. Mocha? Storm, Mocha Storm. Okay. How would you act if your daughter came home with a white man?
Shit, I'd be shocked as hell. But because my daughter loves her some chocolate, so I would be shocked. That's my initial. But I mean, I'd roll with it. If that's who, like somebody said earlier today, you can't help who you love. And I'd rather her be happy with her choices than try to make her choices fit my preferences.
Right.
Ultimately, that's what I want for my children, whatever it is they choose, is to, pursue their happiness and do what makes their soul happy. So it wouldn't bother me at all. I would go back to my original point earlier was I would be curious as to why, and how it happened, how the whole thing unfolded. But that's just my curious nature. And I also wonder, if they thought about how going to work when they're out in society. How are they going to react to people who react to them? Sometimes this world is a cool place to be in.
I think that when they come to the hood, well, I like to call it the urban community. I don't call it the hood. I call it the urban community. But I think that even now, with how crazy race is right now, a black man and a white woman, or a black woman and a white man, whatever, they could be walking down the street in the hood, and they wouldn't get. It wouldn't be. It's not no big. It wouldn't be no big thing. It wouldn't be like. It wouldn't be like that. It wouldn't be no rolling of the heads and rolling of the eyes or no negativity. We because we're accepting. We are an accepting race, and I just don't think they would get that same type of look as if they had went to like an affluent place, affluent area that's mostly Caucasians, and they would be walking the street. You know what I'm saying? Like we're more accepting. I feel. I think we're just an accepting people. That's my opinion. My feeling. I think we are. Like even now, with everything that's going on, we're still saying, with all the threats that we've heard in the media that some of these KKK and white supremacy stuff or whatever have been threatened against African Americans, we still are trying to beg for them to leave us the hell alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not doing nothing to y'all. Like, leave us alone. Let us be who we are. Why are you hating on us? We ain't did nothing to you. Like, so why are you trying to kill our people? Why are you trying to do things? Like, we're still trying to negotiate. You know what I'm saying? We ain't just walking out and just shooting up every Caucasian person or doing all the crazy, hanging people. We ain't doing all that. We're still trying to ask for peace and harmony because that's just our makeup. I feel we'll hurt each other quicker than we hurt another race. Is how it's been. The fighting and the shooting of each other more than we will other races. Other races, they don't. I don't know. I just think we're more of an accepting people. We probably treat each other worse than anything.
Do y'all feel that it's possible to pro-black and marry outside the race?
Yeah, because it's not really about the color. You can be pro-black and still be married to a white man. You know, he just need to understand when you come in there with Black Lives Matter, he needs to join that daggone team. It's to be out there. His sister, yes, right, Black Lives Matter. You know, I think that you can, because it's not about when you marry somebody, it's supposed to be about who you love. So you love this white man, but you letting them know, listen, this is the plight of my people, and I'm still gonna be down with my people, but I still love you. Yeah, I think you can. I personally think you can. Do you think you can?
You know, honestly, I don't know. That was a question that just came to mind, so I hadn't put much thought into it.
Yeah, I think you can. I think
I guess I'm trying to think of some concrete examples of that, or some other metaphorical way of thinking about that. Can you be pro-black and outside your race? How does that work?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, I think you can be pro-black and still. When you say pro-black, you mean like you're not talking about being a racist black. You're just talking about somebody who's being proud of their race. Period. Right? You're not talking about somebody who's hating on other races. Right?
Mm.
You're talking
I don't
about
know.
somebody who's
most times I haven't.
Now I don't know if it's possible to be racist against a white person and still married to him if he's black. Now, I don't know about that. How you gonna hate racists but then be married to someone of that race that you hate? Like, I don't know about that part. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hate Chinese people, but you're married to a Chinese man. Like, you know, I don't think you can be like filled with hatred of a race and still marry him. But you know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's another question. That's a good question. That might be a conversation a topic for another conversation. Because when I think about, just as an example, when I think about being pro-life, can people who are pro-life believe in abortion? So I'll have to sit with a question that I put out there that I don't even have an answer to. So I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, can you be pro-life but still be for abortion?
Yes. Be okay with abortion.
Yeah, because you could be like, you know, you could be pro-life, but then allow people to still be able to make their own decisions. You know what I'm saying? So you can be like, you know, I don't agree with abortions. I don't think abortions are right. I think that, you know, when a person becomes pregnant, I mean, you know, even if they didn't become pregnant for the right reasons, that's still a blessing from God. So I think people can feel like that, but still, you know, say, but a woman should still be able to decide. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they can be both. I think they could be both, basically. That's what I think. So, yeah, I think they can. I just feel sad right now in this season. I think maybe that's got something to do with why I've been feeling so down over the last week or so, just because of our nation and just looking at the way it is. And it's so crazy. Like, I'm reading it. I'm doing, like, I'm reading chapters in the Bible, and so I'm in the chapter of Daniel, and I've gotten to the point where Daniel has told Nebuchadnezzar, you know what I'm saying, about his dream. And in the dream, he's talking about the statue, and the statue is really these different kingdoms, you know, with Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom being the first kingdom, and then all these other kingdoms. And the one kingdom is one that's divided. And when it talks about being divided, which actually makes it weak, it's half strong and half weak because it's divided. And that makes me think about America right now, because America has become divided to the point where it's almost like it's almost like going back to, Civil War type debate, whites against black. Like I just think it just makes me sad to just how our country has how it is right now. It's just sad to me. And then just thinking about the kids and what they got to grow up in and how they got to, deal with this craziness. And then it's obvious we got a president that's, I don't know, the more he talks and the more he's there, it starts to make me think that, is he racist? Is this? Do we have a racist president in office? Like, is the Ku Klux Klan, like what stuff we've been hearing and all that kind of stuff? Is that what's in the office right now? It's administration. Like, it just makes me sad. I think that's why I've been like really down. It looks like we have a caller on the line, so let me open up the phone line. Hello, caller, 314.
You may mention saying that things seem like it's back during the Civil War days. But even during the Civil War, even during the Civil War, you had blacks and whites fighting together for a particular cause. And that's probably, and you have that today also. If you get your information from the news.
It just seems so sad. Don't you think it's sad? Don't you feel the sad energy in the air?
Well, I think it's sad watching so many young people who have come to realize that they have been led down the wrong avenue and been told a lot of things that wasn't true, especially against the country. Those kids that's out there, them young people that's out there doing their riding and protesting, that seemingly is what they have came to the conclusion and trying to change that. But I don't know. I think that the ones that's in school that's doing the right thing, they're going to always benefit from the likelihood of the United States. We've seen that back in the 60s. The ones that was out there riding and burning and throwing rocks, they didn't benefit from that. It was the one who did just the opposite that benefited from it.
Mm. What area of the country are you calling from, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I'm calling from down the south right now.
Oh, okay.
Either the south or Midwest.
I hear that southern draw. Okay.
No, I'm from the Midwest. I've been down here for a few years because I have a grandson that attends college down south.
Okay.
And I came down here with him. But no, the best thing for you to do, you got grandchildren? Do you have grandchildren?
I do not have any grandchildren yet. I don't have any grandchildren. I have children, but I don't have any grandchildren. You
have all your children grown?
No, I still got one in high school, and the rest of them are, they're at that age where they think they're grown. They ain't paying bills yet, but they 20.
Well, the thing I can tell you to do for your child that's still in high school and prepare for your grandchildren is to make sure that they are well educated and that they are educated in the things in the areas that has high demand and they will be paid well for. That's the best thing you can do for that child. Expose them to.
So let me ask you
expose them to as much as you possibly can.
If things continue, the racial tension continues to the way that it is right now, do you feel like the children will really be able to get a good education? Like, if this coronavirus thing continues, and if the civil unrest continues or gets worse, do you really think that the children are going to get the same type of education that maybe your children received or we received? I don't know your age bracket, but do you really think they're going to get the same thing?
Well, you have to make sure that they do. You can't leave it to others. That's one of the downfalls that I see in so many cases. that you have people that depend on other people, whether they white or black, to provide for their children. And all data based on years and years and years of observation shows that just don't happen. Of course, no one's going to teach your child how to compete against their child. And then you have to ask yourself, too, how is it that these African immigrants come to the United States and do so well, even outperform white households in educational attainment and income? How is it? They just as black as Wesley Snipes.
Well, maybe because when they come over here, I don't know. Is it because the way that they were brought up? Maybe in African Americans, we have gotten a lot more relaxed on our kids versus other countries where they have it really, really hard. So when they get over, if they scraped up everything they had to get over here because, things are hard there, then they're more mature. They're more mature. They know what they want. A lot of kids here, they don't know what they want, and then the drugs that has been administered to our communities, it grabs a lot of them. The single parent thing with the father's in jail and the mother's raising the kids, but the streets is raising the kids. And so that plays a part because they're not concentrating on schoolwork because they don't have their support. Because mom got to work for two. She working for what the husband would have been there or the boyfriend would have been able to do. She got to do for both. She working 2 shifts. She ain't at home. So if she got to work 2 shifts to maintain, and her child's at home being raised by the streets, what do you get? And if the administration is putting drugs into the community, and they're using that to make money, what do you get? What happens? You know what I'm saying? So maybe in Africa they don't have to go through what the African American families have to go through. Women, some mothers have a good family unit, so even when they're working, the family is helping them raise their children. Grandma, grandpa, somebody's helping while mom is working 2 and 3 shifts. But if she don't got that support, then what? Whereas
we're not talking about.
They work together.
When I make mention of them, I'm speaking of those first, second, and third generation that's been born here. But you don't see them problems. Now, the problems that you mentioned, are you experiencing those problems?
I mean, I'm not gonna tell you I didn't grow up in the urban community, so I grew up in the hood. I've seen people who thrived in the hood, and I've seen those who haven't. I've seen those who had it hard and still excelled, and I've seen those who didn't. You know what I'm saying? So
well, that's gonna be typical.
If I had been more focused as a youngster and not gone through all the hardships and stuff and had something given to me that some parents were able to give their kids, I probably would have done better. But I that wasn't my case. Everybody's case is not the same. Everybody doesn't have that family support or that education. Education is important. You take them to every school function and all that kind of stuff. Everybody don't have that. Everybody don't get that.
Well, that's typically the case. You're going to have some that will and a lot that do not. And it's up to you to make sure that your siblings and your grandchildren don't go through those misfortunes that you experience. You can't do anything for nobody else. You can't do nothing about the person down the street, up the street, across the corner. But set an example. That's all you can do.
That's true. That's true. But the one thing about Africans that I've known is they stick together more than African Americans. African Americans are like what you said. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about the other people. Worry about you. Whereas Africans stick together. It'll be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them in the same house, splitting all the bills and doing what they got to do. They stick together. African Americans do not. It's all about take care of yourself.
You know what indications show you that they stick together? They have, for instance, Nigerian American Beauty Contest, Ghanaian American Beauty Contest, Senegalese American Beauty Contest. They don't join in with African American Beauty Contest.
No. I think Marie said that they don't really even see us as their people. I think Armory, didn't you say that?
Well, they don't. They know who's who.
Well, I mean, I see a lot more. I see a lot more like black beauty pageants, black cotillions. I learned a lot about proper etiquette when I lived down south, because I didn't know a thing about cotillions. Like, what's going on? You know, I mean, and it's really big in the Hispanic community. I see it a lot. And then when I came back to Ohio as an adult, I've seen it a lot. You know, well, not a lot, but I'm in dance class, so I'm with a whole different set of women that I'm not used to being around. I am now. Now we're all sisters, you know, but, you know, we just come from all different walks of life. And to back up just a little bit, I'm like, I agree with you, Patricia, on what you were saying. You know, it depends on how, you know, a lot of people weren't given those opportunities. I agree to that point, you know, depending upon how they were raised, because a lot of people don't know. You can't grow on something that you don't know anything about. However, I have seen some people who came from nothing. One thing that I have seen just through studies, period, psychologically, a lot of people who grew up without a lot of opportunities and a lot of misfortunes, they are harder grinders, you know, because they've already lived that life. They don't ever want that life again, you know, or, you know, if you know, they either go one or two ways. They either grow up in exactly generational, it's like a generational curse, or they decide that they want better. But what I have noticed about those people is, you know, when they go out, they'll grind, they'll get it, they'll get better, but they still don't somehow lose that I grew up poor mentality. You know, like they'll have a nice house and they'll buy a lot of expensive or name brand things, and it's like a cry out saying, hey, look at me, I'm not poor anymore, But they'll buy like the 50-cent tissue and paper towel, you know, small things. And the more people that I've met and just sitting back assessing the background, and I'm in this hourglass because I'm on the outside looking in, you know, I still see that. Whereas I've also came across some families just in my field where they grew up in affluent homes, and they're very privileged, and a lot of them act like overprivileged kids, like they're above that or they're better than that. And with common sense, sometimes they're pretty clueless, you know, and then some of them aren't. Some of them understand the value of money and finances and education, and so it just depends, because at the end of the day, it depends on what's in you. What's in you? Am I going to just glide through life because I saw my family did it, they kept their head above water, or am I going to soar when I go to this building and get a condo? I want the penthouse because I've lived in the project. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on who you are as a person and how far you desire to go. In my opinion.
Well, you know, one thing that you mentioned about the South, how the people have the manners, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You got whites and blacks that extend that type of greeting and that type of respect. And, you know, one thing, the thing you don't see today out of kids today is a respect for authority, whether it's in the house, at school, and surely you see it's not going on out in the street. Yeah, we know that there's bad police officers, but when a police officer asks you to do something, you're not supposed to start arguing with him. If you got a problem with it, take it to court. But people don't have respect for authority anymore.
I'm noticing that as each generation, a lot of kids have lost respect for their own parents. You see a lot of children, you know, just speaking just despicable things that when I was their age I thought was cool. It's just at a more elevated level. But you also have video games that are very violent, and people who say that video games don't play a role are out of their mind. You also see a lot more sex on TV. When I was school age, and I watched I Love Lucy and stuff like that. I mean, you saw the married couple in the room, but sleeping in separate twin beds. Now you see all kind of stuff. You see all kinds of people and all kind of things going down. That's
wait a minute. When we was coming up, if something was shown on TV, you put your hands over the kid's eyes. Hell, nowadays, I ain't got no hands for the kids because I got my hands over my eyes.
You can tell that. I mean, you can hear toddlers singing a song that they play on the radio. Even on the radio, they used to cut out a lot of things that they say. You even hear all the way up to the radio show host that's, exploiting cussing and, for instance, what is his name? Hughley, D.L. Hughley. He's got a segment that say, you make me effing sick because, and people get on there and they start that line and they'll finish in whatever. But I've heard adults get on there. I've heard teenagers get on there. I've heard kids get on there. I mean, and so to them, they cool. They cussing on radio. And it's like, wow, the world is changing. And they wonder why it's so much more violent. It's because children covet what they see, and this is what they're seeing.
So I hate to change the subject, but because we have a man on the line, I want to go back to what our topic is, and I'm curious to ask you, sir, do you mind giving your first name so I can address you?
Well, my first name is Pianki, Pianki. And your topic was about interracial dating, right?
Yes, sir. So what is your thought?
Well, see, when we was coming up, we was taught not to bring home Miss Daisy or Billy Bob. But today, you got a whole different society, and they're taught different things. That last president that you had, look how openly and how he was used by that one particular group with all the different letters in their identifier. I told a man the other day, I say, when you take a woman out to date and y'all go to dinner and you sitting at the table, how do you know that person across from you is actually a female? And that's the way it is nowadays.
So when you see
I think that you have the right.
When you see a black woman with a white man, does it bother you?
No, it doesn't. It don't today. It don't. Can't bother them. They doing what they want to do. And I told my daughter when she was coming up to not be bringing home no Billy Bob. My grandson, I told him don't bring home no Miss Daisy. Matter of fact, I take him over to West Africa and take his passport and leave him there for about 6 weeks. So, but the thing is that you live in an entirely different society today. Hell, you got men marrying men. So if you got men marrying men, what are you going to say about a man marrying a white woman or a black woman marrying a white man when she can marry another woman?
Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
That's true. That's true.
And out in California, you can marry your pet.
You for real?
You can marry your pet in California?
Yeah, I mean, you seen those pictures on the internet of a wedding ceremony and a little dog with a little dress on and all that stuff?
Oh, Lord, we really are in the last days.
Look, that's something real different, honey. Oh, wait. Marry your pet.
We're in the last days for real, y'all. When they started messing around with the pets and stuff, your pets ain't even safe. We're in the last days.
Yeah, that's pretty disgusting.
Then you got another phenomenon where you got so many women trying to raise these males by themselves, and then they complain that they can't find a good man. Well, no, women cannot raise a male to become the right type of man. And if your daughter has never seen, how does she know what to look for in a husband? She never seen it played out between a mother and a father. She don't know.
So that goes back
That
to
is
what
so
I was
correct.
saying about a woman having to raise the kids because the man is not there, whether he's in jail or out of the street or on drugs or whatever the situation. He just went and started another family somewhere else, whatever the situation is, and you got this mother who got to do it all by herself. So you're right. It's a challenge to be able to try to raise a male child by yourself. And then if a woman gets with a man and the man is like, well, them ain't my kids, you know what I'm saying? Then it's still that challenge. It's still that challenge because she got a male there, but he's not trying to do anything for her child as far as being a role model.
And that would be the woman's fault. That would be the woman's fault. That means she's selfishly choosing her desperate need of feeling like she is not complete without having any man. You know, she must have a man to feel complete as a woman. And that's not fair to your children. I will agree that, the first male that a daughter should ever fall in love with is her father. But if you are a shitty father, then you still at a loss. Because I do know some couples who stay together, still together, raise their kids, and their kids are still, some of their kids are still, it's just as messed up as kids that are, and I've seen single parents who raised their children, had to raise males, who turned out to be decent men. But you still need a role model, somebody to follow the show, whether it's a good pastor at a church. I know with my grandson, I end up having to raise him. My son and his mother are like Bonnie and Clyde out here. They were back and forth in jail. So I took a hand so that the system wouldn't take my grandson, and I raised him. And it was difficult through certain situations, but there are organizations out there. I had him connected with my brother's keeper. You know, they went on a rites of passage over the summer. He's also in the mentorship with the Sigma fraternity. There are different type of men. They got the Big Brother, Big Sister program. There's different mentorships, people in your family. It could be a neighbor that you just see that, cut the grass, show a child how to do something, kind of correct them a little bit. But I feel like if you're going to be in a relationship and you have children, it has to be a package deal. Or if you meet a guy and he's real sweet to your kids and he has children that he's not even spending time with, then it makes you raise an eyebrow like, well, something's wrong with this picture. And then you can't trust every man that you with. I know
right.
that when I went back on the dating scene, I would go, because usually my dates did not last long, so I would date a guy for at least 2 to 3 months before I would even consider introducing him to my children.
Well, you done the right thing.
Get to be sure.
You done the right thing. You don't be bringing anything in your palace where your children is. You just don't do that. And I'm gonna tell you something too. If you are not married, you don't be having sex at home with kids there, where he sleep overnight, get up in the morning, headed to the bathroom, and the kids go in the bathroom trying to get ready. No, you don't do that. You go to a hotel if you're going to do that stuff. You don't be bringing no man to the house. At least I wouldn't.
Yeah. I think it depends. I think it depends how long you've been with that person. I think that as long as you got to know that person, if they're family oriented, if you're into God-fearing, you got to have some compatibility because you're entrusting this person with your children. And you have a lot of women that give a wrong misconception. They'll spoil their sons. They're not really raising them. And then once they finally leave the nest, they're going to look for a woman that they can consistently lean on. A man has to know how to stand up for himself and stand as a man. And that's something you just got to know.
Another thing, too, under normal circumstances, before your daughter dates, you need to do a background check on that person that she's about to date or go out with. Same thing with your son, too. Do a background check on their woman, especially our aunties and the families, because it's just too valuable a thing to be risking under normal circumstances. I wouldn't let my daughter go. I'd done checks on who she was going to be dating with.
when your daughter and your son get to be a certain age and they bring it home, this riffraff and stuff, I mean, they're old enough to choose. So how do you really tell your 20-year-old or your 21-year-old or 22-year-old that the person that they brought home, you don't like them? Sometimes it's like when they get to that age, like, I'm grown, I can decide who I want. But you know from the door looking at them like, that energy is not good. That energy is not good for you. That's a whole bunch of chaos and confusion, and that's not going to be good. But it's hard to tell these young adults, you know, because they feel like I'm grown.
That's where you establish their respect for authority early. You have to establish respect for authority. You, the parent, they, the child. They will always be the child in retrospect. And child, when they grow up to become adults, they respect that authority. They respect those parents.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know what you're saying. I know very well what you're saying. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Now, it used to be like that to a greater extent than what you see now amongst Black America. But it just hasn't gotten completely opposite that today. And sadly enough, much of the problems that you look at Chicago since Memorial Day weekend up until last Tuesday, they don't have 716 shootings and 137 people killed. Can you imagine that? 716. Your likelihood of getting shot is greater than you winning the Illinois lottery in that state, that city.
It's been 700 since Memorial Day of 2020.
716 shot. Not one police officer involved in shootings. I don't see where they find the people to shoot.
Yeah, yeah. Chicago has always.
And you know what? We talking about kids as young as 18 months, 4-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, you know, there's been so many children shot that in itself, you know, George Floyd should not be the poster child. Any of those children should be the poster child. The young lady, Miss Jones, 13-year-old, that was practicing her ballet in the living room, her mama was in the kitchen cooking. A bullet came through the wall or something and hit her in the neck and killed her. And her mama had a strange feeling, she said. She went in there and looked, and her daughter's there on the floor dying.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know how those, the emotional strain, I don't know how those people put up with that.
That's what I'm saying. Can you feel the sad in the atmosphere? It's just sad all the way across the board. It's just sad. It's sad with the black-on-black crime. It's sad with the racial divide. It's sad with the people who are losing their lives to coronavirus. It's sad. It's just sad. It's just a sad time. It's just a sad time in America, period. It's just sad. It's just sad. It's like
and these people,
even
Patricia, they don't even have a heart. No heart whatsoever. This one retired captain of a policeman, they shot him while he was breaking in a pawn shop. He's laying there on the ground, dying, had his cell phone in his hand. Mouth is moving, trying to mumble. One young man is standing over and hollering at him, OG, don't leave us. Please don't leave us. And at that time, here comes a car full of brothers in it. And one of them holler out the one and said, F that old man. We'll shoot you. So you are dealing with some animals. In St. Louis.
This is recent? This is recent?
Yes. Yes, it was. Within they just had his funeral here last week. Retired 77 years old. Then the fool go in the pawn shop, one of them, and guess what? He leaves his damn debit card in there. So he has to be completely out of his mind.
No, he smoked too much weed.
Completely on the drugs. I mean, but a lot of our young black men are walking around here ruthless and heartless. But again, there's a father. I bet you at least over half of them, their father is not present in the home.
Oh,
So
You're right.
if you're not gonna learn, that's just like off of one of Tupac's songs when he was saying, his father wasn't there, the coward wasn't there. He said so he was raised in the streets, and he loved him for that because even though he sold rocks, it felt good putting money in his mama's mailbox. So he was still able to take care of his mother. He had to go a different route and learn how to do it. But, I guess when you have to choose between eating for the day and paying rent, not facing eviction again, as opposed to the struggle, you're going to choose what's best for you. And then once you get used to that lifestyle, it's hard to get out of it because who wants to go back to being poor? Like, oh, shit, I made it, but, I know I'm doing the wrong thing. Let me try to get a job. But 9 times out of 10, if you get a job, because if you have a felony, they're going to make it very hard. So if you get a job, it's always going to be entry level. They'll, you make some, but just enough, not really keeping your head above water, but, it's better, it beats a blank. I mean, you could do that, but if you making $500 a week of honest pay, but you got 5 kids at home, or you say you work at a fast food plus you selling drugs on the side, you're able to still take care of your family. So the imbalance, just socially, if they could level out the balance, because we're still very much imbalanced. In the corporate world, I think African Americans only make up 3%? 3% in the corporate America? It's ridiculous.
So that still goes back to the whole reason why we are trying to fight, because we realize that we have never really had equality. It's been since going in the 50s, 40s. I'm thinking there were more husband and wives, there were more family units. But then as things progress, when they start bringing the drugs and putting black men in jail and then the 3 strikes rule and then all this stuff has been, we have always been repressed. You might have the ones like the gentleman that's on the line who, he had his kids good structure, husband and wife in the home. They kept their kids, in spite of what was going on in the world, they kept their kids focused on school, and they made it out. They got to the good colleges. They made it out. They got to the top of the level or whatever. But that is not the norm that we've been experiencing in America since forever, since even after slavery. After slavery, things were still done to keep us from rising, from growing, from progressing. It just has been. It just is sad. I just think it's just a sad society right now, and we just need to really pray, because even with the black militia starting to come out and do whatever, violence will never conquer violence. So it'll only bring more violence. So it'll only take it to the point where we really will have a civil war. The only thing that can conquer hate is love, and trying to figure out how to infuse that love back into our society is what we need to be trying to figure out, because otherwise it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. For every decade, it's getting worse and worse and worse. It's just getting worse and worse and worse.
Well, some of these militias, they need to take some time out and work with these kids that don't have no father in the house. Because you talking about going to war, you ain't going to win no war against fighting whites. Now, you might as well put that out of your mind. Work with these kids that don't have a father. I mean, something as simple as buying some math books, having them do 100 math problems every day. That's simple. Take them to the library, museums, explore with them to see what their inner talents are. Then those talents is identified and direct them towards something that's in high demand. Hell, you do that with football, basketball. You have them out there on the field till 8 o'clock at night. You have them jumping, running, throwing to see who's the best. You bring out 100 kids, and you pick 10, and the other 90 go home. Look how many kids was sacrificed to produce a LeBron James. You had to have good competition, and they didn't make it. Yeah, so you have to have 2 avenues. You just can't have 1 avenue. Those children have to be educated. What kind of nation you gonna build with dumb people? That just don't exist.
They're not dumb right now. They're high. They all high. They all on weed. They all on drugs. They all high. Everybody high right now. That's what I think. And now they made marijuana legal, so now they can get up in the morning and smoke it legally. They can be high all day long. You just not even have to face reality. That's what's going on right now.
And you know, when you smoke marijuana, you knock yourself out of a lot of jobs. You can't work with schools, your kids in school. You can't get into aviation, and a lot of other things that they deny you of because they figure it's a mental problem. So only thing I can keep going back to is work with your children, your grandchildren. And one lady, you say you got organizations and clubs. That's a good thing. Utilize them where they can work with your child, where you got grown men, for real men, that can talk to them, mentor with them, take them places, and so on and so on and so on. Go through the proper precautions to make sure that everything is above board. And then you just experiment with them.
I think that is awesome and amazing. And on that note, we're going to take a break, y'all.
I'm going to get out of here. Thank y'all very much for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
We're going to take a quick break, y'all, and we'll be right back.
Been searching everywhere, I can't find no one quite like you. The way you make me feel, the way you make me smile, I love you for that, love. Never gonna find love. So kind to me. Ooh, said I never did love, yeah. And I dreamed about you, and I thirst for you, and you came along and filled me up. Everything
I've been seeing visions of where I'm going, what you have in store for me. Seems like a long time, visions been in my mind, yet I hold on to not what I see, but what you promised me. Ooh, I've been dreaming, and sometimes it's frightening, things that you've shown me, not sure why you chose me. Seems like a long time, visions been in my mind, yet I hold on to not what I see, but what you promised me. So I gotta keep believing and pray without ceasing. People may not understand. No matter what the world might say to me or do, I'm waiting on you. Oh Lord, I'm waiting on you. I am believing my season is coming, for I know what you told me. I said on your word, boy. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I trust you, Lord, and I intend to walk in faith and wait and see. I run on to see what the end's gonna be, and so I gotta keep believing and pray without ceasing. And people may not understand. No matter what the world might say to me or do, I'm waiting on you. Waiting on you. Patiently, I'm waiting graciously on your timing. I wanna move without you. I'll stand still while you do what you will. What you I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. Oh, I'm waiting on you. I'll keep right on believing. I'll keep praying without ceasing. I'll keep right on reaching for the prize of the high calling, which is in you, Lord. I'm waiting on you, waiting on you. I'll sit and wait, anticipate, wait for the great I am. I'll sit and wait, anticipate, and wait on the great I am. Waiting on you, yeah, oh Lord, yeah. No matter what they say, I'm waiting.
Oh my God, that is my freaking song. I love those two songs. That was me, Sean Young. I'm sitting over here singing it because I just love that music. So we've had that was a deep show. That was deeper than deep. On the Move Unscripted deep, on purpose deep, type deep. Would y'all agree that it was deep? Are y'all still there?
Oh, yes. Still here. Still rocking with you, girl. Still rocking with you.
I actually shed some tears, man. I really it's deep to me because my children mean the world to me, and I haven't always been the greatest parent, and I know that there's some things that they rock with me even in the worst times. You know what I'm saying? So my heart goes out to them because sometimes I fault myself for different things or whatever, but I love my kids.
Well, good. I'm glad you do. Because they're wonderful.
Yeah. So anyway, it's been emotional. But I told you I've been emotional all week. So if y'all see me teary-eyed, and that ain't nothing but what I've been doing since freaking Monday. So I don't know why the world would think Thursday would be any different. I've been whining all week. I've been emotional all week. It's just been one of them kind of weeks. You know, it's just one of them kind of weeks. So anyway, I hope that y'all have an awesome week coming up. Thank you, Dr. A. Storm, for joining our panel and kicking it with us on Thursdays. You know what I'm saying, for our round table. Thank you, R. Marie and Misty, for always coming and holding it down. Deshaun and Kim are not here tonight, but they usually are. I appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? I always felt from the gate when we prayed about Thursdays that it was not something that just happened to be, but it's something that God orchestrated and He chose everybody. And that's a part of it. And for the people who call in, you call in because at that exact moment, that's what your assignment is, to join in and bring life to our discussion. So I appreciate all the people who continue to tune in on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and who join in our discussions on Thursdays or whatever. I just appreciate all y'all. I got much love for y'all. We just got to continue to pray for our country. So I love y'all. You know, love y'all.
We love you too.
We love you, and thank you for always putting this on. Wonderful time.
Yeah, I appreciate you. So y'all have a safe week. You know, Dr. Storm, make sure you keep on, you know, being the bionic woman that you are. You know what I'm saying? R. Marie, keep on doing you with the cape. You know what I'm saying? Saving all the patients in the world. Missy, thank you for, you know, keep that white collar on and keep prophesying and ministering to everybody that you can, and let's just keep changing the world, you know, one discussion, one person, you know, one show at a time.
And you as well, Patricia, you make sure you keep all your hats on, too, because you do a lot. You do plenty for everybody else. And make sure you get something in for yourself. Do something for yourself, you know, because you do a lot for everybody, you know, and we love you, too. And keep your head up. And if you want to cry together, we can cry together because you got my number.
I know. That's what I'm trying to get up off of here because I'm in the crying mode. I ain't trying to be crying all on the radio, and I'm crying. And
we are unscripted for a reason, you know. It's for a reason.
Right.
Everything happens for a reason, and, you know, sometimes we're not crying for ourselves, we're crying for others, and we will probably never even know, you know. But all is well, says the Lord. Love y'all. Y'all have a blessed rest of the week.
Love y'all.
Yeah.
I'm about to say I'm going to open doors because I really believe that God's about to open some doors for everybody. So I'm praying for open doors for everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice. And for all the ladies, I pray that a door opens, one that has been closed. I pray that it opens and that you recognize it when it opens and that you have the faith to walk through it once you see that it has opened. Peace and love y'all.
Amen. You too. Love you too. Love y'all too.
Can you feel that music? Can you feel that beat? Can you feel it? Can you feel the music? Can you feel the beat? Yeah. Let the music cruise through your body till it reaches your feet. Yeah. When I was a young girl, my mother told me, she said you gotta have faith, baby. You gotta believe.
When one door closes, another door opens. You gotta have faith, baby. You gotta believe. She told me, she said, there's nothing too hard for you. If you believe, you gotta have faith, baby. You gotta believe. Can you feel that music, that hanky beat? Let the music cruise through your body till it reaches your feet. Yeah. When one door closes, another door opens. You gotta have faith, baby. You gotta believe. Listen, y'all. They used to tell me, they said, Patricia, you won't succeed. They said that music thing, you won't succeed. But I didn't listen. You know why? There's nothing too hard for you. If you believe, you gotta have faith, baby. You gotta believe. Oh, and don't let no one stop your dreams, baby. Just keep on walking, keep on believing, and have faith. Hey, hey, woo! Can you feel my music, that hanky beat? Let my music cruise your body till it reaches your feet. God, coming with a message that's just for you. He said, have faith in your dreams, and they'll come true. Have faith in your vision. Have faith in your dreams. Have faith in your passion. Do what you want to do. There's nothing too hard for you. If you believe, you gotta have faith.